Well, hello. Thank you for joining. That was an incredible video. On behalf of the Newlab team, it is our pleasure to welcome you to Newlab. Thank you so much for joining us this week in a very busy Climate Week. We know Climate Week is getting bigger and bigger. For those of you who've come to New York over the years, last year compared to this year, demonstrably bigger. Multiple events, many more people in town, and we feel that here at Newlab this week. 2,000 people are expected to come through this space, close to 1,000 people on a wait list to get in this building. Amazing. The amount of work that we do to put this together, it's well worth it. I can say that for the team when we see all of you in here today. So thank you again for joining. And we are live streaming this around the world to a much wider audience. So an exciting piece of content today. And as you see outside already, we've got the noise going with all the incredible startups demonstrating their technologies. We also know year over year, climate is also changing. There is challenges that we face that are growing every day, every month, and every year. There's also progress. As you saw in the video, what does it really take to create the impact we need to really make progress towards these challenges? We know that the critical technologies that we need around any major decarbonization pathway that you might think is important, about half of those technologies have not been invented or even scaled. We also know that the majority of those technologies are going to be physical in nature, or going to be integrated in some way into the material world to really make the impact that we're looking for. And we've also seen a major trend. The majority of industrial or commercial scale R&D is now shifting to the world of deep tech startups. We have founders and their private capital partners now taking that on. So we, Newlab, our venture platform, are focused entirely on helping those deep tech startups grow. We do this with our 3-point model, as was described in the video, and we do that well and in place. We're able to create impact in climate, as well as generate economic development outcomes in the regions that we operate in. And so we began here in Brooklyn, New York, in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. This campus was once a center of gravity, a center of innovation and engineering during World War I and II, where about 70,000 workers, engineers, and machinists would come here every day to build our naval ships for World War I and II. You can see the infrastructure of this building is still in place, including the 40-ton gantries outside. They used to put together shipping parts, push them across the other side to reach the dry dock. And so that center of invention and engineering was always a thread here in New York and Brooklyn. In the early 2000s, during the Bloomberg administration, there was a reinvestment in applied sciences and bringing back the energy of making in the city and here in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. So our co-founders, David Belt and Scott Cohen, took that as an opportunity to build Newlab, building the community within the building, building the space to make it a great home for startups that develop their products, and running around the world to find the world's greatest founders to come join what became our Newlab membership. And so today, the community that's in this building is about 220 startup members and growing. And since then, we've been building our partnerships, our programming, and our commercialization outcomes through pilot projects and making critical investments all along the way. And so today, we are a theme-based and thesis-led organization. We organize our systems and our strategy around attacking broad challenges within these themes. And we're doing this to solve the world's greatest challenges in climate. And so while startups are core to this, so are our partners. Partnerships bring in infrastructure. They bring in capital. And if you're a public or private enterprise, you represent a significant potential shift in regulatory, policy, as well as markets that really open the doors for these companies to scale and, again, make that impact that we're looking for. And so Newlab took a major leap forward when this all came together for us in Michigan, underpinned by an incredible public-private partnership led by Michigan Central, who partners are here with us today. We opened up this location in Detroit, Michigan over a year and a half ago. And today, over 150 startups are operating in this space. The space is about 3 times bigger than what you see here in Brooklyn. Startups paired with public agencies, economic development partners, industry partners, and investors all working together in one space, leveraging purpose-built infrastructure to really make commercialization and climate changes through innovation at the intersection of mobility and energy. And we're growing. Newlab is in a motion of scale. Starting in LATAM, our center of gravity in Montevideo, also backed by public and private partners who came a long way to join us here today in the space, with partnerships happening in Chile, Brazil, Argentina, and Colombia, also partners here with us today. And soon we will announce an expansion in new locations, all centered around certain themes, or we're leveraging that region's right to win, all to create the conditions for our startups to grow in those places, develop their innovations, commercialize, and make an impact in climate. And the running theme throughout is the action of doing. Newlab is a programmatic platform, and we launch pilot projects all over our locations. This is the moment when startups have built their products and their technologies, leverage the public-private partnerships that we bring to the table, are able to take the capital we're able to provide them, and develop these pilot projects in the hopes of pushing this towards some level of commercialization and adoption. So whether it's working with delivery workers on battery safety technologies for charging their e-bikes for deliveries, or working with drone companies to unlock the gridlock in logistics and the movement of goods in our country, or figuring out how to convert waste from our oceans into value-added products, Newlab is there working with startups to develop these solutions of the future, doing those projects in the ground. And so today you'll hear from a variety of partners and leaders who are doing their part to help make progress against climate change. And so thank you on behalf of the Newlab staff, and thank you to our sponsors who were able to make this day possible. Without you, we would not be able to produce the experience we're going to have today. And so we hope you come away from this content with learnings, with a great experience, you learn from the conversations, and perhaps you get some great new partnerships. This is New Climate Futures.